So there is actually worth something. Thank you for the follow, Spanner FM. Definitely don't know who you are now. I do indeed now know who he is. Actually, I did forget an actual big important piece of this match, actually, is that obviously Margaret Majors was the person who ended Olivia Black's undefeated streak. Which, to be fair, a lot of them have been ended lately. Obviously, Olivia Black's was ended. John Black ended Andre Cruz's at the pay-per-view. So obviously, Olivia Black will be looking for some vindication, prove it was a fluke, prove she could still be as dominant in this roster as she can be. But Margaret Majors is someone who's been impressing in a lot of matches as well recently. Definitely finding her own way to rise up the card, maybe getting some more, serious opportunities. But she's definitely putting the work to Olivia Black. I need you to add John Black's Forever Head. Oh, the 5 head as an emote on Twitch. If I can get John's permission. I mean, it's his character. I'm not gonna, I'm not just gonna, like, take someone's likeness and change it. Or use it for gain. Still in the chain wrestling kit. Chain wrestling is one of those where it's iconic in the stream's history. However, it is very hard to commentate over because not much actually happens. So... But we could definitely work through it. Margaret Majors dropping down and catches into a nice power slam to Olivia Black. We don't see the strike off happen as much. Yeah, we really don't. That is true. I don't know why, because I'm pretty sure the thingies, like the on like the sliders, what's the word? The how common they are is like quite high. They just never happen for some reason. A nice discus clothesline from Margaret Majors, sending Olivia Black down to the ground. And this match so far has all been Margaret Majors. Although every single time I say that, usually the other person comes with a comeback. A nice falling powerbomb. And now taking Olivia Black into the corner to trap her there, stop her from getting any sort of offense back. Can't seem to decide what way she wants, and I guess that indecision was what allowed Olivia Black to get back into. Olivia Black going for the roll-up now, trying to steal the win, but a kick out before one. Now, I mean, I did say it, that the match was all Margaret Majors, and then every time that I say that about someone, the other person then starts to have a bit of a comeback, but Margaret Majors not allowing it go on for too long, as it seems, powering her down to the mat. And lift her up to the top. To a nice avalanche driver. Going for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Margaret Majors nearly did it over Olivia Black again. And Margaret Majors climbing to the top rope. Going for the moonsault, but moved out of the way just in time. And a nice power bomb of her own. Olivia Black's already got bruises near her eyes. A nice springboard moonsault. Going for a sleeper. Will Margaret tap? No, she manages to get out of it, dropping down into a stunner-like move, and some punches into the gut. And then a right hook into the face of Olivia. Olivia takes Margaret down with a kick and then starts to get herself a bit more hyped up. Still getting hyped up, just trying to regain the energy. A nice little spin heel kick there. Oh. Now throwing Margaret onto the ropes, into a DDT, into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Olivia Black gets her own back against Margaret Majors, as they are now technically 1-1 against each other in singles competition. Could we end up seeing a third match to close off this chapter for both women? Margaret Majors did look very dominant at the beginning, but Olivia Black came into it on her own. Can one of the mods get rid of the spammer there, please? So either Brad or John, if he's actually here. I have no fucking clue if he's here. He's not said anything in ages. But Olivia Black getting the win. Another win to her tally, which totals her up to now 5-1 overall record, which is still impressive, you know, for a woman that's not been around for all that long in comparison to most of the roster, at least. Oh, sorry, hang on, my eyes are hurting a little bit. In my defense, I only woke up like an hour before stream, so you'll have to bear with me if my eyes hurt a little bit. Doug Foster versus Aiden Storm. Of course, Doug Foster coming off the back of defeating Elijah Chambers in a... What was it? Was it just an... It was an Extreme Rules match, right? At the last PLE. You know, going 2-0 against Elijah Chambers, making quick work of him. Doug quickly showing that he has a high potential ceiling in the solo scene. A guy who's been mostly, pretty much consistently in the tag scene since the beginning. I believe he debuted in a tag team on the second show that we ever did, and ever since he's been in that tag scene amongst 3 different teams, well no, 2 different teams, sorry, and now he's going solo, as he believes he was always the, you know, the main guy in each tag team, putting in most of the work. And Aiden Storm, a guy who is, well, inherently a tag guy, has never really been out of that tag scene, has been, you know, tag champion for a joint record of how long a title has been held in the company, matching with Leon Grimes, both Leon Grimes holding the European Championship for 118 days, as well as the Blood Devils holding their tag gold for 118 days. One elephant in the room to address is, obviously, Doug has been on an absolute tear in the singles division since he returned to it, and Aiden Storm, I believe, has never actually won a singles match. He's had a few, but he's never actually won. Gavin Storm, I believe, has won 2 out of 3 singles matches that he's had. You know, his tag partner. However, Aiden Storm has not had a single solo win yet. So far, Doug is dominating at the moment. I mean, both, and also, you know, as mentioned in the chat as well, both of these people are, you know, they hail from Canada. Obviously, though, Aiden Storm having dual nationality, also, you know, coming from some Italian descent, you know, as well as his brother. But Doug has taken control in most of this match. Nice falling dropkick into the stomach. Aiden Storm goes for a quick kick, but Doug Foster catches it. And Doug has just been very dominant so far. But we saw that in the opener where Margaret Majors dominated Olivia Black from the beginning, and obviously Olivia Black staging a comeback and winning anyways. Maybe Aiden Storm can do that. But it is hard to do that against a motivated Doug Foster with the side slam that we've seen get several bits of success so far. And then into the coffin drop, into the pin. Could it be over this early? 1, 2, and a kick out at the last possible second from Aiden Storm. Doug Foster nearly made absolute light work of one half of the tag team champions. And obviously it does have to be acknowledged as well, the poor run that both members of the Blood Devils have been on recently. The only match they've actually won in the last month was when they defended their tag gold against Vixen. Of course, obviously they are... you know, they have said on record that, you know, when it comes to defending the titles, that they are, you know, a different animal. They turn into a different beast. They are not the same tag team that ends up losing, you know, exhibition matches based on miscommunications. But Aiden Storm definitely feeling his way back into this match now. I say back into, but like for the first time in this match more like. And he goes for a submission. But this is on the outside of the ring. This is not about winning the match for Aiden Storm. That's about trying to send a message to Doug. Clearly feeling disrespected by the onslaught that Doug gave. And I wonder if there is any actual respect between these two. You know, these are people that have actually fought over the tag belts against each other before. Obviously, you know, Doug Foster being one half of the first ever tag team champions. Obviously, also having the shortest reign as well, losing it to the Covenant very soon after. But they did get a match against the Blood Devils for the belts once they got back. Or at least it might have been with Velocity when he ended up replacing. Sorry, I didn't realise we started early. I was speaking with them. We didn't start early. We always start at 9, John. That's the normal stream time. Has been for about the past 2 months. The starting soon stream screen goes up at 8:30 and then the stream starts at 9. There's a quick knees to the head and Doug Foster's busted open. A nice Hurricane Rana DDT from Aiden Storm. Of course, the more agile of the tag team champions, Gavin Storm being more your stereotypical powerhouse wrestler, and he takes him down, dragging him away from the ropes so he can go for the pin without any risk of Doug getting to the ropes. Goes for the pin now. Could this be it? 1, 2, and a kick out at again the last possible second. This could go any way from this point. Both competitors only just about staying in it, and Doug dodging out the way there, throwing Aiden against the ropes as he waits now a diving forearm. Waiting for Aiden to get to his feet. Runs to the ropes. Goes for a leg drop, but Aiden Storm moves out the way. And now it's Aiden throwing at Doug across the ropes as he drops down. Goes into a nice suplex. Goes into straight into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Doug. As Aiden Storm gets Doug back to his feet. And Doug moving out the way. But another reversal back from Aiden Storm. So what happened in the first match? This has seemed like Margaret Majors dominated in the first like 5 minutes or so. Like 2-3 minutes. Or hang on, roll up from Aiden Storm. 1, 2, and a kick out. And a little kick in the face for good measure from Doug in that kick out. But yeah, she dominated for the first bit, and then Olivia Black came back, and Olivia got the win. So they're technically 1-on-1 against each other now. And Aiden now stalking Doug Foster while he gets to his feet, trying to end things here, looking for his first solo win in the company. 1, 2, 3, and he does do it. Could this be a new rise of form for the Blood Devils? Could it be the match against Vixen that they needed to regain their confidence? But that's a big win for Aiden Storm, being a very motivated Doug Foster. A Doug Foster that has, you know, been on a really good run. I mean, let's not forget he did very comfortably, actually, take down Elijah Chambers twice. A man who has, you know, Elijah Chambers, a man who's beat world champions in this company before. I mean, he's never held the belt himself, but he's definitely beaten, you know, former world champions. He's, you know, he was one of the first people to challenge for the international championship. Which, you know, talking about the international championship, I believe that the next match you will see the new international champion make his first appearance since winning the belt. As we will see John Black go up against Akumi Shimazaki, you know, who was the runner-up in the gauntlet that obviously saw John Black actually become the #1 contender to Andre Cruz. He was also, you know, to see him be the one to end Andre Cruz's historic reign of being the shortest time from debut to title glory. And also being one of the few undefeated wrestlers. John Black put an end to that, and it in controversial fashion with a roll-up of all things. But Aiden Storm pacing around the ring. Clearly the emotion is high. Being able to show that he can do it without his brother by his side. That's the other thing that a lot of people question is obviously his, you know, tag partner not being with him across his any. And of course, Akumi has got a lot to prove as well. I mean, I know I mentioned obviously that she was the runner-up in the gauntlet, but that was, you know, I mean, with all due respect, it's a bit hard to say that when, you know, she was the last entrant. You kind of have to be the runner-up. There's not really a choice there. But I guess Akumi's here to prove that she would have been able to do that regardless of what number she came in. And John Black obviously wanting to prove that he is a new man, that he's a man who takes those opportunities. I mean, we saw in his PLE match that he did actually, there was a moment where it did look like he made Andre Cruz tap and the ref didn't call it, but like, you know, the normal John Black lets that get to him. He makes mistakes, he lets that get through his head and control every decision that he makes for the rest of the match. However, at the PLE we saw that he was focused on one thing, and that was winning that belt, and he did not let the screw up, you know, ruin his match. It'd be nice if the referee fucking moved. But Akumi is someone as well that the has been getting a lot of, you know, good screen time recently as well. Clearly a favourite of the Strike GM. And John Black lifting up Akumi now, but Akumi wriggling out of the grasp of the Hollywood King. Throwing John Black against the ropes. A drop kick to the knees. Goes for a springboard leg drop, but clearly misjudges the distance. And now John Black targeting the legs. Of course, knowing that, you know, one of the big advantages Akumi will have in this match is the speed and the difference in that speed. But he's trying to end it early here. One, kick out at one from Akumi. Now a roll. Into a front slam, into a second front slam. Just trying to do as much physical damage to Akumi as he can. Clearly not messing around. I mean, we said this a lot about John Black. He's not here to put on these instant classics that a lot of these wrestlers that we have in MCW are. He's not here to put on the match of the year contenders. He's here to get the job done, get paid, go home. And at the moment, priority is defending that title and bringing prestige to it. And while this is not a title match, it would still say a lot about the reign of John Black if he loses here tonight. And Akumi with a big punch to John Black to send him down to the mat. But John moving out of the way. And again, well, Akumi this time. It seems like they're both one step ahead of each other. John Black using the ropes to his advantage. Into a backbreaker, assisted by the ropes. It's got to cause some pain to Akumi. Into a Foley side slam. No, John clearly missed the grip there to pick her up. Another side slam. Kind of looks like the rock bottom. Playing homage to another wrestler turned Hollywood star. I don't even know what that move's called, but fucking hell, planting Akumi down, going for the pin, 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. This match has been all John Black for the most part. I mean, Akumi's had little bits of, you know, of kind of surprise moments where she's been able to predict what John's going to do, but John is still up, like times like that where, you know, she manages to wriggle out the graps, dodges, but then John Black is just able to take advantage anyways. Is Akumi well out of her depth in a match against someone like John Black? Or will she be able to come into her own in that match? We've seen a lot of that tonight. I mean, the first two matches have been very similar. A person who's doing dominating at the start is the one who ends up losing. But if you had to ask me, it's hard for me to see a world where John Black just isn't still continuing to inflict pain in this match. As he's taking this opportunity as seriously as he can. This is a more locked-in version of John Black than we've ever seen before. Kumi was definitely dazed there, but manages to snap out of it quite quickly. And another suplex from John Black. This is basically murder at this point. But Akumi gets a quick leg, what's it called? Leg twist? Oh, I don't know what it's fucking called. But, like, to get back into it, now targeting the arm. Could this be the moment that Akumi needs to get back into this match? Jumping clothesline. Into a gut buster. Dropping the legs onto the stomach. Into a drop kick. John Black back to his feet. Akumi with a clothesline to the back of the head. And now a hip toss from Akumi. Into that shoulder down to the mat. Or elbow down to the mat, sorry. A big drop kick. Sending John Black flying towards the corner. Now she runs for the ropes. And a drop kick. Going in for the pin now. Trying to do the upset. 1, 2. Oh, it's a kick out at 1. That's got to be quite demotivating. Putting that much energy into a comeback attack. And then your opponent kicking out at 1. And a huge leapfrog leg drop. And John Black gets an elbow up. But another spin kick. Planting John back down to the mat. She now goes to the top rope. She goes for a splash. Into the pin. 1, 2. And a kick out at 2 from John Black. It's actually a really good matchup between these two so far. It looked like it was going to be a domination, a burial even, from John Black. But Akumi showing that she's not easy to take down. John Black flinging her off over the ropes to the outside. Creating a bit of much needed space. But Akumi again managing to slide out of the way. Using that speed and agility advantage she's got. Into a stunner cutter type move. On the outside of all places. Throwing John Black back into the ring. Getting cocky towards the crowd. Could that have cost her though? She maybe should have just gone for a pin. But John Black with a suplex. And a side slam. Oh, it looks like John Black is definitely setting up to end this match at this point. And gets her up into a tombstone pile driver. Into the pin. Or is it a package pile driver? It's one of the two. 1, 2. And a kick out at 2 from Akumi Shimazaki. Still fight left in her. Incredible showing. And a front slam. Into a second front slam. John Black. Normally, again, he'd be shocked. He'd get in his own head about her kicking out there. But he's just so focused on being able to get the win. This is a different version of John Black we have seen so far. And a huge 630. Bit of athleticism from a big man such as himself. It's got to come with a lot of power, a lot of pain done to that midsection. Into another cutter. Or neck breaker, sorry. Now, trying to take Akumi, but Akumi with some elbows into the stomach. Trying to get right back into it. Throwing John Black against the ropes. She pounces on him. Raining down the punches onto the face of John Black. Oh, hi, Red Dead 88. I don't recognize your name, so if you're new, welcome. And another package pile driver. Oh, it's media. Oh, hi. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the first show. I do have plans to have you booked next week. The show was already booked by the time you submitted. An I think that's an F10, not even an F5. Into the pin. Surely it's all over. 1, 2, 3. It is. It was the expected winner with him being the champion. But it was, you know, not as dominant as we expected to be. Especially based on the first 5 minutes of that match. It looked like it was just no chance for Akumi to ever get a chance in this match. It was all going to be John Black. But, you know, she managed to show a lot of fight, a lot of heart. And if you ask me, performances like that are something that separates you from the rest of the roster. And maybe there's going to be some big opportunities coming Akumi's way. What an incredible matchup. Next PLE standoff, right? Yes, yeah, every match is brand v brand. So there's only actually, technically, there's only going to be one actual title defended on that show, which will be the tag titles. Because obviously they're not, they're cross-brand anyway. So they'll be defended. Every other title it's a champion v champion match. So as it stands right now, we're gonna have Leon Grimes versus John Black, and also Max Black versus Marty, which is a rematch, you know, of big significance. But obviously, that Leon Grimes thing could not be true, based on, you know, by the end of stream, Noah Morrison could be the guy to dethrone. He's already had one opportunity in the past. This is a rematch that he's definitely earned through that incredible potential match of the year contender win that he got at the last PLE in that triple threat against Henry King and... Who the fuck was the other person in that match? Shit. Oh, Cassidy Holland. Cassidy Holland. Big meaty men slapping meat. That is true. Alright. He won, but Elijah took him to the limit. Oh, okay, alright. I must have misremembered then. It makes sense. It makes sense that I would have thought he would have won if he took him to the limit. And a nice spinning forearm to take Brad down. And Elijah immediately showing some athleticism, getting the big man on his shoulders, flinging him down to the ground. And a top rope cutter immediately, going in for the pin. 1, and a kick out at 1. I mean, it's safe to say that there's clearly been some physical therapy that has happened to that knee, because Elijah Chambers is moving like a man who's never injured himself once in his life. But it's a big, big opportunity for Elijah Chambers still. You know, former world champion in, or former all-star champion, sorry, in Brad Collins. I mean, technically both before the title trade, but yeah, Brad Collins, a former all-star champion, obviously losing his title to Max Black a couple PLEs ago. As going to some Midnight Chain Wrestling. Also, you'll see a tweet come out from MCW soon enough on the Twitter channel, announcing MCW's 2 newest signings and which brand they will be taken to out of Clash and Strike. So whenever the bot actually decides to send that notification through, you guys will see. And a sliding clothesline from Elijah Chambers to Brad Collins. And Brad choking Elijah out on the bottom of the mat. Obviously, the ref not allowing that to happen for too long. Sorry, it gets stuck in my head every time I hear it. Spinning round into a clothesline from hell, into a pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Elijah Chambers. Going for a diving shoulder tackle there, but Elijah moving out of the way. And Elijah biting the ear. I don't actually know how that's allowed, and the referee doesn't really question it. But, you know, I mean, like, you know, if he wants to get a little... Listen, if Elijah wants to get a little freaky, that's his business, you know.
I've got a good idea of what we're about to see here. Hoist it up.
And then going in for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. And you know what's very impressive of Elijah is he does not seem too beaten up about the, you know, the losses to Doug Foster. You know, normally taking a 2-0 in you know, some sort of rivalry would usually, you know, cause a wrestler to lose a lot of confidence, but not Elijah Chambers. And a running power slam. Goes to drop the fist down, but Brad moves out the way. Goes to grapple him, but a dodge out of the way, but still can't miss the gut, and a spine buster. And Elijah Chambers with the roll up, trying to steal the victory here. 1, and a kick out at 1. One, 2, and a kick out at 2 again. Elijah arguing with the ref, clearly believing it was a free count there. I'm not sure I agree with him on that one. To me, that was a very clear kick out at 2. But Elijah has looked very strong in this match so far. He gets him up, plants him down into an AA, goes for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 again. Elijah clearly furious at the resiliency of Brad Collins, but that is what happens when you face a former world champion. And a choke slam. But a roll up from Brad Collins. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Brad clearly catching Elijah off guard there. Almost like Brad was sat there playing dead possum, waiting for Elijah to get close enough that he can strike. But Elijah still taking advantage. And now he's biting the nose. I don't know how it's legal. I don't know how it's allowed. Throwing Brad into the corner. Once again. Elijah taking a moment to catch his breath. Very intelligent from him. And again, just biting the nose once more. At this point, I don't think Elijah cares about, you know, winning. I think he might have just skipped dinner. Just taking that moment to catch his breath again. Oh, I have no idea what that was. Maybe just trying to psych out Brad so he couldn't expect it. 1, 2, and another kick out from Brad Collins. This man won't quit, and now kick, quick knee to the face. And Brad getting Elijah up high, looking to drop him face first on that turnbuckle, and he does. But Elijah getting a leg up into the gut. And he gets Brad up into a pop-up cutter. Is that gonna be it? 1, 2, 3. Elijah Chambers, in upsets of all of upsets, has defeated Brad Collins. I mean, there was a lot of question marks with Elijah Chambers, even in the mid-card at this point, with, you know, his losses to Doug and then the little knee injury he picked up at the pay-per-view. But he just seems to have come back stronger. Maybe he's a man who endures the pain, uses that pain to his advantage, and directs that pain back onto his opponents. But taking out Brad Collins is a huge notch on his belt And it might actually, now that I think about it, that might be Elijah's biggest win of his career in MCW. And it's a big, huge win.
Here is your winner, the Undead Owen Elijah. Unquestionably a big win here tonight. Every match is special, but this one just raised the bar even higher. I bet the whole locker room was watching this one by the end of it.
Sorry about that, I was just responding to a booking message to someone. Not related to this match, but you know. Still.
Believe in the shit!
Fucking hell! Oh, that scared the fuck out of me. Thank you so much, Doug, for the £25 donation. That scared the fuck out of me. So we got a lot of people in this match. Well, everyone in this match has got some form of point to prove. Obviously, Andre Cruz, who had just lost not only his undefeated streak, but also the International Championship to John Black. And a big moonsault crossbody to take both men down. Diego Barbosa obviously coming off the back of a brutal 20-minute Iron Man match for the MCW All-Star Championship against Max Black, in which it ended, correct me if I'm wrong, John, but I believe it's something like 11-8 or something like that to Max Black. And a roll-up from Wayne Evans here, but Andre Cruz breaks it up. And of course, it's not, you know, let's not ignore Wayne Evans as well. I mean, this is definitely the highest profile match that he's been in. I mean, facing someone who's just challenged for the world title on strike, and also a man who was, you know, just recently, up until last week, was a, you know, undefeated wrestler and a international champion at the time. So this is definitely a big match for Wayne Evans to show what he's capable of. Of course, we've seen we've seen one of Alex Shannon's calls lose tonight against Olivia Black. Obviously, Margaret Major's taking a loss. But can Wayne Evans get a big upset win? I mean, we just came off the back of an upset win of Elijah beating Brad Collins, and Andre Cruz clearly taking his anger of losing that title and undefeated streak out on Wayne Evans here, taking the baseball bat to him. Obviously with triple threat rules, no disqualification, and a kick across the chest. And Diego missing a bunch of kicks on the leg there. Of course, Diego being the veteran in this match, being here since week 1. You know, despite that, though, only having his first title opportunity at the last pay-per-view. And a standing Spanish fly from Andre Cruz, but, you know, it was written there that Diego Barbosa was going to cause that out. And a code breaker out of nothing from Diego Barbosa to take down Andre Cruz. But again, you know, it's that kind of ring experience, though, of being here for that long in Diego Barbosa, knowing that that one code breaker wouldn't be enough to take down Andre Cruz. So didn't even bother going for the pin. Instead, turning his attention over to Wayne Evans to try and inflict equal damage on the two of them. Not being all there after the offensive stuff. But that is true as well. You know, Diego would definitely be a bit, you know, banged up in this match. But, you know, we thought that about Elijah Chambers, and look how he fought, so... You know, you never know. And a nice heel kick into Diego, going in for the pin. Wayne Evans on the outside of the ring, but he gets back in time to break the pin up at 1. A nice drop kick. Wayne Evans gets back to his feet, raining down the punches on Andre Cruz. Oh, into it. I don't even know what that is, but it was a lovely looking move. Diego Barbosa coming in with a kendo stick, though. No shock, by the way, that the first two people in this match to bring weapons out are the two people that suffered devastating losses. Oh, he goes for a... He seems to go for a springboard dropkick there, but again, it's that thing of we did say Diego's probably not going to be all there after the brutal assault he suffered. Takes the baseball bat, and now Wayne Evans going for the pin now. One, kick out at one.
I can't believe it. He just won't go away.
Nice sit-out powerbomb from Wayne Evans. Obviously, Diego with another kick to the face, tapping into that ex-footballer background. You know, they do say in MCW that one of the most, you know, worst weapons you can have in that ring is not a kendo stick, it's not the baseball bat, it's the feet of Diego Barbosa. You know, not the most well-rounded of wrestlers, but if we were to make a list, and into a penalty kick, into a stomp, and he goes for the pin, but it kicks out at 2. And you saw there, Andre Cruz lifting up 1 on each finger, clearly mocking the 2 count in front of Diego. That's not that respectable behavior we're used to from Andre Cruz. Again, clearly showing signs of arrogance and annoyance from the loss. A suplex from Andre Cruz. How's your ears after I tried to join the call from work? Oh, I'm basically deaf still. That's why I'm shouting so loud. No, I don't understand where... I don't know how you work in a bank, Alex. That shit sounded like you were in a jet engine. And a sit-out powerbomb from Andre Cruz going for the pin. 1, 2, and a last-second breakup from Wayne Evans. Still holding his opportunity in this match, trying to do what he can to keep his chances of winning alive. This would be a huge win for him in his career, would shoot him into the stratosphere, and a code breaker from Diego Barbosa into the pin. Andre Cruz laying the ropes, but he gets up to break the pin. And now Andre Cruz goes to get a weapon, I think, but then changes his mind after seeing Wayne Evans get back to his feet. I guess knowing that he... Bank? I said I worked in a pub. Oh, well, that says a lot about your fucking audio issues there. And Wayne Evans and Andre Cruz working together to drop Diego Barbosa's back right onto the baseball bat. And a Pele kick out of nothing. Wayne Evans going to steal the pin, but it's the move of an amateur when Diego Barbosa is standing right there to break up the pin. And a lovely springboard DDT from Wayne Evans. Andre Cruz moving out the way. But he rolls straight into a clothesline from Wayne Evans. Diego thrown against the ropes when Wayne Evans takes him into the corner. And it's broken up by Andre Cruz getting in the way. Tries to use the baseball bat on Wayne Evans, but he dodges twice. But he cannot dodge Diego, dragging him to the ropes. To another penalty kick into a stomp. He goes in for the pin, but Andre Cruz is just right there. The instant that these men learn that they don't have to, you know, that both that have it going for a pin when one of the men is still stood is probably not going to work. Also, it's really weird for Diego because I'm telling you now, I have not once seen him hit that stomp penalty kick combo in the entire time of MCW, and then this match he's hit it twice. Like, it's been on his, like, either his signatures or finishers for ages. I think it's his finish, one of his finishers. As Andre Cruz picks up Wayne Evans, goes for a slap, but it's caught by Wayne Evans. Diego now taking it to Wayne Evans. To a nice Insaguri. Andre Cruz right behind him. With a Hurricane Rana. This truly could go anyone's way, though, at this point. To a jumping knee. And Wayne Evans. Into a spinning power slam. As he's stalking Andre Cruz. Diego's outside the ring, though. And he plants him down. Goes for the pin. Diego's under the ring. 1, 2... And a kick out at 2. Diego tried to get there, but it's lucky for him that Andre Cruz managed to kick out because he was not going to get in that ring in time. A nice kick to the face. After lifting on the shoulders again. A rare show of strength from Diego, but, you know, none of these men in the match are, you know, ginormous. Nice springboard crossbody. And out of these men, so far, it actually looks like Wayne Evans is the one with the most energy. And a lovely sling blade from Wayne Evans. Unlocks in the submission against Diego Barbosa. Andre Cruz, watching it happen, clearly convinced that Diego would have got out of it, but he did. So maybe he was right in his decision. As both men just kind of lay flat on each other. Wayne Evans first to get to his feet. No surprise there. We have said he's got a lot of energy here. Nice little jumping elbow into the stomach there. Andre Cruz coming back into the ring with a kendo stick. Lovely springboard moonsault. Diego gets back up, but he's met immediately. It does feel like both men here are teaming up on Diego. Again, it makes sense. The most experienced man in the ring. And a nice heel kick. Once again, a pin where Diego's outside the ring. 1, 2, and another kick out at 2 from this time from Wayne Evans. This again, it could be anyone's match, and a code breaker from Diego Barbosa, but he can't capitalize because Wayne Evans has got right back onto his feet. Diego flinging Wayne Evans off into a Pele kick. But he can't capitalize on that either. With Andre Cruz getting back to his feet. There were 2 opportunities there for Diego to possibly win this match. And both times, by mere seconds, it's taken away from him. And a sit-out powerbomb into the pin from Andre, but it's broken up by Wayne Evans immediately. Diego gets a quick foot up. He goes to take it to Andre, but Andre gets a foot up, or an arm up, sorry. And a nice Hurricane Rana. Wayne Evans taking it to the back of Andre Cruz. Taking him to the ropes here now. Throwing him against the ropes. Don't know what he's going in. A huge clothesline from Wayne Evans. But Diego with a quick kick there. This time he's trying to spread out his offense a bit more, aware that, you know, he kind of needs to go after both men after that moment where he could have probably got the win over both men if it wasn't for the timing. And a back clothesline into a nice heel kick from Andre Cruz. Diego, though, it looked like he was going to try and throw him out the ring to then steal the pin. Andre Cruz goes up to the top rope. Diego moves out of the way. A 630 splash. Met into a kendo stick. And he tries to steal the pin. Completely dazed Andre Cruz. 1, 2, 3. Diego Barbosa picks up the win. Andre Cruz clearly furious.
These superstars put on quite a show. Here's another look.
Not something you see Diego Barbosa do. Normally he's a man of honor that will take his own win his own way. But maybe after the damage done by Max Black and knowing he didn't have much gas in the tank, I mean, he looked pretty gassed most of that match, which, again, for someone like Diego, who's normally got a lot of stamina, normally that doesn't really affect him. But maybe he saw how gassed he was getting and just realized he had to take the opportunity where it lay. And lay before him it did, in the form of Andre Cruz, planting Wayne Evans down on the ground for him. But Andre Cruz clearly furious about it as soon as the bell rung, as he sits there complaining to the ref. Not much that he could do, though. I mean, even in a normal match, that's allowed. There's no rules broken, but in a triple threat, no DQ, there's nothing the ref could have done. It was completely out of her hands. As Diego Barbosa picks up the win. Showing he's still one of the top stars in the company.
You have to keep your head on a swivel in a match like this, and our winner did just that.
All right. So, if you give me one moment, and here we go. Francis Sharp teaming with MD Silver versus Rock City Stars. As a friend of mine would dub the Brothers in Crisis. Surprised he's not actually just freaking out in the chat, because he's the one that's been begging for this match to happen. But it's two men. Francis Sharp, obviously a new... There it is. There's MD. MD Silva goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out. Remember, Rock City Stars have lost a lot of matches lately through miscommunication. Although Francis and MD never worked together in the past. Although two professionals of the ring. Francis, of course, coming over from Strike to Clash recently. Picking up some really good wins since he came over. I could be wrong. Did he beat Serena at the pay-per-view? He did. He did beat Serena at the pay-per-view. Yeah, I remember that. And MD, of course, getting his own on his ex-tag team partner, Ryan Ross. So both coming off of big wins. MD Silva completely reinventing himself. You know, he's after the breakup of Severance. And Francis has, well, transferred brands and then dyed his hair. But you know, that's a crisis basically. But Francis is stunned, taking some sledgehammer shots for the back. Rock City Stars standing tall at the moment. In quite dominant fashion as well, I must say. Francis gets up, snatches the sledgehammer, but it is a 2 against 1, and even someone like Francis is going to struggle into the world's strongest slam. But Stan Mania's right behind him, waiting, and MD Silva jumping in to help. It's also, we don't actually really know much if there's much respect between Francis and MD, if they respect each other as performers, as men. We don't know this. They've not really ever interacted. But they are two of the biggest threats, and a spear from Francis into the pin on Stan Mania. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Stan. And a H-bomb from MD Silva to Brian Sawyer. Stomping on the back now. Brian Sawyer, though, getting a reversal onto MD Silva. And then picking up Francis into a sit-out powerbomb. But MD Silva just waiting as he helps his partner in this match. Stan throwing Francis against Ross. And again, MD Silva coming to the aid. Good communication. And a 2-star power driver. And then a big clothesline from Francis to Brian Sawyer. Actually, surprisingly good communication between these two men. And then a sledgehammer to the gut of Brian Sawyer from MD Silva. MD Silva going for the pin. I don't think he actually thought that he was going to get that off. I think that was more of a distraction. He saw that Stan was going after a groggy Francis Sharp and decided that if he went for the pin, Stan would obviously have to break up the pin to save the match, giving Francis the time to breathe that he needs. It's that kind of in-ring intelligence that we've seen MD Silva use a lot since he has returned. Brian Sawyer getting out of the grips of Francis. Set a powerbomb from Stan. Going for the pin on MD Silva. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. And Brian once again getting out of the grips of Francis. MD Silva with the pile driver. And a spear from Francis to stop it, the breakup of the pin. And what a way to win! MD Silva hitting the driver, and I believe Brian was just that close to breaking up the pin. And Francis with a spear out of absolutely fucking nowhere to save his tag partners from getting, you know, the pin broken up. As the Dubbed Brothers in Crisis take home the win against Rock City Stars in what was a really entertaining finish to the match. So I'm just yamming fucking biscuits down all this match, to be honest. I only planned on having like 3, and now I've had like fucking 7. And by 7 I mean closer to about 12, but you know, that'll do. That was a nice little opener. Surprisingly great communication between Francis Sharp and here it is, the finish into the spear to stop the pin getting broken up.
Here are your winners, Francis Sharp and
Both men hyped after the win.
This pairing paid strong dividends with an impressive
As both men continue their own rises of destructions on Clash. Ryan Ross, a man who's on a mission to redeem himself, obviously losing to his former tag partner MD Silver. And I mean, there's definitely easier ways to redeem yourself than to go against this man, the alpha predator of MCW, Ronan Wolf. But if we know anything about Ryan Ross, he's definitely going to give it his best shot. As we start off with chain wrestling. Didn't get any in the first match. Oh yeah, we wouldn't have because it was a tornado tag. They don't happen in those matches. Whoa. And Ronan Wolf taking advantage of the power difference and the size difference between these two. I mean, it's not one of those opponents that you want to learn that you got to go up against. And Ryan Ross reverses, drops Ronan Wolf back onto his back. But a quick leg up into chain wrestling once more. Because what better way than to have midnight chain wrestling all over again. We love to see it.
Switching things up, taking control of the waist here.
Still chain wrestling. It's very hard to commentate on chain wrestling.
Switching things up.
Ryan Ross taking him down to the ground. Trying to eliminate more of the threat of the power difference. But Ronan Wolf being able to fling him off. Ryan Ross throwing Ronan against the ropes into a super kick. Stomp onto the ankle. But he misses the slingshot. Both men stagger to their feet at about the same time. But it's Ronan Wolf that takes advantage. Tossing Ryan Ross around like he weighs nothing. He goes for that pounce, but Ryan Ross gets the space that he needs to dodge that. Chat's gone hella dead, by the way. Just want to add that on. Little drop down and slap into the jaw from Ryan Ross. No, I know people are here. I know you're here, MD. Just be no one talking. Oh, eating pasta at the minute. To be fair, pasta is one of those meals that you need focus for as well, because that shit get everywhere. Ryan Ross actually giving a really impressive performance against Ronan Wolf. You know, and let's not get it twisted, that is quite impressive. I mean, Ronan Wolf, again, the latest challenger for the World Championship. Nice little scissor kick there from Ryan Ross. But Ronan Wolf with the reversal. Goes in for the pin. One. Kick out at one from Ryan Ross. Nowhere near enough damage done to get more than a 1 count. Ryan Ross trying to take a kick-based offense more towards, and a sit-out powerbomb goes in for the pin. It takes a lot of strength to lift a man like that. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Ronan Wolf. And there we go, he hits the pounce that time, flinging Ryan Ross into the air. And reversing, throwing Ryan Ross over the shoulders, going for the pin. And a kick out at 0. Miles off. Ryan Ross got a lot of fight in him here. And a lovely neck breaker. Looked like it shook the whole ring. with the power put behind. Goes for a little slingshot kick, but caught by Ryan Ross. But Ronan Wolf tripping the legs up. It's quite even match between these two. Which is quite surprising considering what people may have expected going into it.
Look at these punches to the ear. Ouch. Punches and elbows. Look at this assault. Uh-oh. Got out of the way.
But it's been quite an even matchup. Very big back and forth into tombstone, pile driver, into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and that's all she wrote. I mean, that pile driver is one of the most devastating moves that we have in MCW when it's delivered by Ronan Wolf, a man of such power. I mean, it's you know, potentially a neck-breaking move. And there's a chance that that could have, you know, normally when that kind of move is received by an opponent, they immediately get checked up backstage because it can do some serious damage. It's almost a mystery that no one's been taken out with injury from it. And people in chat that were talking about a dinosaur earlier, get ready for the next match where there's an actual dinosaur taking part. Yeah, Ronan Wolf is just... Ronan Wolf's terrifying. Like, bro has got so much potential. Like, don't let, like, the fact that he lost to Marty in the world title match at the PLE, like, distract you from the fact that this man has got a huge ceiling. Maybe he was just thrown in that... Maybe he got a bit cocky for his own liking, calling that open challenge out, but... You know, at the end of the day, sometimes... Here we go. La Cara Toro versus Elena Claire. Obviously, Elena Claire got a lot to prove after that match with Leon Grimes, wanting to potentially earn herself a rematch one day. I feel like there will be blood in this match. There could be. There is a chance there could be. La Cara Toro obviously got a lot to prove. Had a very impressive start. I think he went 2-0 when he first debuted, and then he's just kind of stagnated a bit. I think he's got quite an even record these days. Let me have a look what it is actually before I'm spreading into it. Yeah, two wins, 2 losses. You know, but this is a man fueled by love of the game and go straight in for the pin. 1, kick out at 1 from Elena. Fueled by love of the game and well, Dino Nuggets. So, you know. He is one of only, I believe, 2 South American wrestlers on the entire of the MCW roster, hailing from Argentina, with obviously Diego Barbosa being the other one, hailing from Brazil. As much as John Black would like to claim that he is from Bolivia, just because he, you know, manages the national team, doesn't make you Bolivian. Goes for the pin after the splash. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Carnatoro trying to end this match very quickly. Lovely maneuver there. Going for the pin again. 1, 2, and another kick out at 2. Carnatoro really just does not seem to rate Elena Claire, thinking that she's going to get pinned after every single move. Targeting the ankle. It's really funny that Carnatoro is my, like, most mid-core, because he's the one that I put in so much, like, so much fucking effort. He's, like, the one I put the most effort into the appearance of, and he's just mid. But, hey, he's a personal one. I like dinosaurs. It allows me to get my autism out. MCW really does have a diverse roster. Hell, we even have Korean wrestlers, which is very rare. Exactly. WWE only has 1, and AEW doesn't have any. Who's the Korean wrestler in WWE? I don't actually know who it is. Oh, a lovely little kick there from Elena Claire. Oh, okay. I didn't know Mia Yim was half Korean, so that explains why I didn't know. And a spinning back fist into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Lacana Toro. Elena Claire demanding Carnatore to get to his feet. And a lovely, I don't even know what that was, like somersault, clothesline, springboard bullshit. What the fuck was that? Carnatore getting up. Gets out the way. Just a lot of dodging from both of these competitors here. A reversal from Carnatore. Very fast offense into a standing Spanish fly. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Elena Claire. Going to the corner. Waiting for Elena Claire to get to his feet. And I don't even know what that is. Is that Operation Dragon? I think it is, right? Going for the pin though. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. It might not be Operation Dragon. I could be. No, it's not, is it? I think that's just a normal ass move then. I don't remember Carnatore's moveset, I'm going to be honest. I forgot it completely. Do not even know what his finishes or signatures are. Front flip DDT, no. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know why I thought it was... I think it's because I thought it was a finisher. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. I thought it was a finisher, but it wasn't. I'm pretty sure one of his finishes is the Operation Dragon. I just don't actually remember what it looks like. Elena Claire targeting the ankle. Throwing Carnatore into the corner. I think it's the one Ospreay used to do. Oh, that makes sense. As he goes top rope. And a 630. I mean, that must be a finisher or a signature then. I don't know which one it is, but you know, he's going for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Elena Claire again. Flinging it down, going to the corner. Okay, I think that's Operation Dragon. Okay. Yeah, so it is a finisher. That's why. It's because he went into the corner. I know you could do 2. And a kick out at the last second again from Elena Claire. It's because he went to the corner on the first one and confused the fuck out of me, and I just don't remember what Operation Dragon looks like, because Dragon Lee's not done it in fucking forever, because he's teaming with AJ. And a roll up from Elena Claire to try and steal it after the onslaught. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Knee caught to the gut, but Elena Claire not giving in. Into a pile driver. Into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Goes for a springboard moonsault from the bottom rope, but doesn't get enough distance on it. But Carnatore is still getting to his feet, but manages to get a quick punch into the chest there. Now some very fast, speedy offense as he runs to the corner. Big drop kick to the jaw of Elena Claire. And Elena Claire with a big code breaker. Could that be the moment that she needs to take home the win? After a big onslaught from Carnatore. And she's going for another power driver. No, she's not going for a power driver. She's going for a power bomb, but Carnatore fights his way out of it. And an Operation Dragon into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 again from Elena Claire. They just keep fighting. Also, I think that move should very aptly be named Operation Dinosaur. Getting Elena Claire up. We're running power slam. Going top rope. Is he going to go for another 630? He is. And it lands. He goes straight in for the pin. 1, 2, 3. It was a very valiant effort from Elena Claire, who just kept kicking out. Like, there wasn't many opportunities where it looked like she had the match won, but she just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. True heart. Maybe, she might not have won the European Championship. She might not be a champion, but she certainly has the spirit of a champion. And maybe that is enough to take this woman far in the company. Sometimes the biggest banger of matches come from the matches that you don't expect to be bangers. I don't think anyone had massively high hopes for this match going into, or at least high interest, due to the lack of form of both competitors. But they went out there, and it seems like they went out with the plan of stealing the show. And I think it's safe to say that they could have done that. I mean, it might be a bit early. There's still 2 more matches, but it's hard to say that something might top that. But, we've seen some bangers in this company, and maybe we'll get even more. An incredible match from both performers. As we prepare ourselves for Cassidy Holland, who's been on a great run since returning to Clash from Strike, a few weeks ago, as he goes up against the current world champion Marty. Granted, it's an exhibition match. There is no title on the line, in that matchup, but nonetheless. And versus MCW world champion Marty, who had one of the most shocking rises, which all started on his shock upset against Max Black, earning him his first title opportunity in a triple threat, which was actually won by Brad Collins, where he secured his first title, where Max Black's historic title reign came to an end, in which he was taken out by Michael Shaw through injury in a 3-on-3 tag match against Severance when he teamed up with Rock City Stars. He was taken out by injury for ages, and then he came back, jumped him, the current world champion, faced him in a Party Marty street fight at Fight Fest, in which he secured his first ever world title, and he successfully defended it at the last PLE against Ronan Wolf in an open challenge. And on top of that, he's also cost MCW about 20% of its booking budget on just, having illegal substances in his dressing room at all times anyways. Or at least that's the rumours I've heard. But let's not count out Cassidy Holland here as well, a man who's been on a really big redemption arc, a man who had the biggest, I think, ever loss streak in MCW history, I believe. It might be between him and Hahn. And then moved over from Strike to Clash, picked up a good win, put in some good performances, was in a match of the year contender at Fight Fest. Getting the opportunity. I mean, Marty has said on several occasions that he wants to use his title reign to, show off the talent that deserves to be shown off. And I guess he believes that someone, a veteran like Cassidy Holland in his early to mid-40s, I believe, who's been wrestling basically as long as, we can remember, and wants to appreciate the good run that he's been on. Amai with a nice jump up into a drop kick. Lovely athleticism we see. Illegal substitute, Marty's happy back. Yeah, it's just happy powder. Yeah, agreed. It just makes him happy. And Cassidy Holland gaining confidence in this match now. And I don't think it can be stated how big of a win this would be for Cassidy Holland if he manages to pull off the upset. We saw a big upset on Strike earlier tonight in Elijah Chambers, obviously taking down Brad Collins. But I think this arguably could be the biggest upset we would ever have had. A man who's been on constant losing streaks in Cassidy Holland, defeating the actual world champion. Don't think it gets more underdog, more upset than that. I actually, by the way, just because of all the Doug Foster jokes, I genuinely slipped up, and when I meant to say dog, I said Doug. It's getting ridiculous now, guys. Nice elbow drop onto the outside. You've seen a few times, Marty is not a man who is scared to take a fight to the outside to deal as much damage as he possibly can. And a Hurricane Rana. That for Cassidy Holland. Jumping over him. Goes into a dropkick. Doesn't, but it looks like Cassidy managed to just push the leg out of the way. It's been a lovely back and forth between these two. And a lovely spinning back elbow. Marty rolling out the way. But he's met by a drop kick from Cassidy Holland. Cassidy Holland moving him away from the ropes. So Marty over. Marty getting back to his feet. Into a neck breaker. And Cassidy Holland. Marty catches the forearm though. Into an RKO. Into a pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Cassidy Holland. Could have been over there. Goes for a splash, but Cassidy Holland moving out of the way. Don't get me wrong, groggily, but he does get out of the way, and that's all that matters for him. Throwing Cassidy towards the ropes, but Cassidy returns. Cassidy Holland going to the outside. Oh, dropping him back first onto the apron. Cassidy Holland trying to bust Marty open, but does not succeed in that. You know, I mean, but to be honest, who knows what kind of, you know, chemicals are running through Marty's body, to be honest. Dropping the elbow onto Cassidy Holland's ankle. And just targeting the leg again. Clearly got a game plan. You see the announcers standing up, worried that there's a chance that he goes for the apron there. Or the announce table, sorry. And Marty showing love to the crowd. Going for the top rope. Springboard, clothesline. Into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Cassidy Holland. Oh, is Marty busted open or is he just bruised? I can't actually tell. And a DDT from Marty. And Cassidy Holland gets a quick, cheap shot in, trying to capitalise, but Marty gets a punch to the stomach. Goes for another RKO, but it's countered. Met by multiple clotheslines. Into a power slam from Cassidy Holland. Marty rolls out the way though. Cassidy throwing Marty to the ropes. Marty jumping over him though. Into a lovely spinning heel kick. Goes to the ropes. Goes for a springboard splash, but moved out of the way. Cassidy just in time. And Cassidy with a backbreaker. As he goes in the corner, and a punt into the head of Marty. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Marty. That was the first opportunity in this match where Cassidy could have had that one. Another backbreaker into a backwards clothesline. Cassidy's really starting to feel himself in this match now. There is an actual chance that he could pull up the greatest upset of all time. Throwing Marty on the outside. And the rope hung DDT. Waiting for Marty to get to his feet. And an RKO of his own. Goes in for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Cassidy Holland has beaten MCW World Champion Marty. What the fuck? Marty, the original upset of MCW. You know, and I called it at the beginning of this match that there was a chance that, you know, Marty gets a taste of his own medicine and Cassidy Holland puts up a huge upset. But Cassidy Holland, a man who has been through the ringer in MCW, a man who has only, in his entire time in the company, picked up 3 wins out of 15 matches, has now beaten the current world champion. In shocking fashion. Now that is one of those moments that'll be remembered forever. And certainly it'll be remembered by Cassidy Holland for the rest of his career, however long is left of it. And Marty will certainly remember that, but not as fondly, and maybe once he gets that ringing out of his ears from the punt. But we are looking towards a potential another upset that could be on a similar level if it does happen, as we will go into, as we are consistently putting it on the line and consistently proving to be one of the top stars in the company, despite his dumbass thing of hitting finishers, not going for pins, and then going for pins after regular moves. But nonetheless, he gets it over the line. Do believe, though, the match between Noah Morrison he had the first time was one of the closest we had seen Leon Grimes win. Or get to losing, sorry, I mean. And Noah Morrison going straight to him, using the power. Using that true New Zealand background in rugby. The referee just blocking Noah Morrison's way there. And a roll-up from Leon Grimes, trying to get this over with quickly, but a kick out before 1. Probably would have been a 1 count if the referee wasn't glitched out. Leon Grimes rolling out the way, returning with a punch of his own. Top rope moonsault into the pin. 1. And a kick out at 1. Truly versus size versus speed, strength versus speed, more like, between these two men. And this could arguably be a bigger upset than Cassidy Holland versus Marty, purely due to the fact Marty has lost quite a few matches, whereas obviously Leon Grimes has lost 0. But again, we'd seen upset after upset tonight in today's stream. Will we get one here, or will it be business as usual for Leon Grimes? A big drop kick to send the New Zealander down. Showing a bit of cockiness there. The Clash Champ substance abuse conspiracy. No, I mean, hey, you got to look at Strike as well. There's no way Max Black ain't taking growth hormones. Look at the fucking size of him. There's no way. You don't become the size of a mountain naturally. He's been eating buildings at least. No, it looked like both men went for a clothesline at the same time, but again, just the power difference between the two had Noah win that one. And a spine buster. Leon Grimes getting to his feet with a knee to the stomach, taking him down into an elbow, into a sling blade. Goes for the pin on Noah Morrison. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. I believe it was that comeback to sling blade combo that actually had him beat Noah Morrison the first time. Obviously, Noah Morrison a different beast though now. It's going to take more than that to beat him this time. No, he's not responsible for any resemblance to Mountain Godzilla or any other kind of comparisons. A lovely DDT from Noah there. And a sling blade. Into the pin. 1, 2, 3. I guess it is business like usual for fucking Leon Grimes. At least it wasn't a normal move this time. I don't get why he's so fucking good. But that's fine by me. I don't understand it. Have I accidentally made the most, like, OP core in history without, like, knowing how I've done it? I don't get it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is a massive rating difference between the two of them in-game. Like, I think Noah Morrison is, like, because of, like, just form and stuff, I think he's, like, 85, 86. And like, fucking Leon Grimes is, like, 94 at the moment or something. So there is, like, a huge rating difference between the two, but normally it's not that despaired. I might have to look at nerfing Leon Grimes a little bit. Bro's running out of opponents. Alright, well, it wasn't 2 upsets back to back, I suppose. I have no idea. Leon Grimes just built different, man. He just built fucking different. But either way,